Hey up lads and lasses, Damphyre here, back again with some more Infinite Lagrange. Today, carrying on with more of the cruisers and what have you, we are having a quick look at the Jaeger. Obviously yesterday, looking at the new cruiser that's inbound, the Ranger. Looks like an interesting ship. So yeah, let's have a quick look at the Jaeger. I think of the cruisers we have left, we have the Predator, the KCCP PV 2.0, like kind we did. I haven't done the IO yet, have I? So I've got the CAS as well, because I think I've done Light Kind, Chimera, Callisto, Connie. So we got Predator, Jaeger, KCCPV, IO, and CAS. So I'll probably do the Jaeger now. Predator will be the video after that. And then I'll let you guys decide which one do you want after that, the KCCPV, the IO, or the CAS. Probably everyone gonna ask the IO or the CAS, I'd expect. The IO being a really good damage dealer, the CAS being having some good ship variants, but everyone's after the Ox for its healing potential. So the Jaeger sits in a pretty good situation, to be honest with you, in form of its support type, which is a Corvette version, Corvette carrier, and that is sort of its only viable option. The anti-ship type is a little bit lackluster, albeit it has a great strategy, but you get the same strategy on Carillion heavy cannon, which kind of makes this one a little bit redundant, because why run 18 CP? And it's not even 18 CP, because I think you need like 2 of them or 3 of them to pull off its, Oh, consists of only capital ships. So, okay, no, you can put one of these in. But you can do the same thing with the HC Carillion, and in my opinion, it's a little bit more cost-effective CP-wise, so I'd probably go that route. So it kind of just leave with the Jaeger being one of the better ships, or the better ship of the variants of the Jaeger. That being said, it is only used in Swarm. Same as the Predator, you only really see those in Swarm fleet. So heavy fleet or anything like that, you don't really see them that much or at all. The exceptions, the Predator Tactical, you can sometimes find those in heavy fleet. But that's mostly because of them giving, the UAV buff, and they can target specifically cruisers as well, if I remember rightly, which is quite funny because it does mean they target themselves, which is kind of pointless in itself. So the Jaeger, it's sitting in the back row, so you don't have to worry too much about the armor system. But I would recommend picking up the double ship HP, because if they do get targeted, they're not. They are pretty healthy, but they can die, and if you lose them, you lose your 4 Corvettes at the same time. So just trying to keep them alive. It's what, 16 CP for the HP, and that's all you have to do, and it's a bit of peace of mind, because it does actually increase its HP pool by quite a bit. And that's before you jump into your Corvette loading system, and this is where you pick up all your fun stuff. So after getting the 2 HP modules, which in my opinion is the right way to do things, then going into the prioritized targets. When the enemy ship fleet includes super capital ships, it deploys aircraft UAVs to attack these targets as priority and reduces attack duration by 25%. I mentioned attack duration with the Ranger ship. It's really, really strong. Anything that buffs attack duration actually increases the damage output of a ship considerably, more than just, say, even cooldown can sometimes. So whenever you pick this up, you ever see this, you should pretty much always try and pick it up. And this will really give your aircraft quite a big boost. Obviously, we got double rearmament, which is really strong on aircraft, which is also my second recommendation after picking up the prioritized targets. You also pick up the prioritized targets because it will target super caps. Super caps include battle cruisers and carriers, and you do want those things out of the battlefield as fast as possible, with the exception if it's something like ST-59s where they don't do too much damage. They are there to just soak up damage. But things like spears, they soak damage, but they also dish damage. CTGs can soak some damage, dish out stupid amounts of damage. But things like solar whales and CV300, 3000s, and Marshall Cruxes, all of those big super cap carriers, if you can kill those off, you really, really hurt, your enemy's ability to get damage out, especially in those very heavy fleets where they are running like 5 spear with 12 casts and solar whale. Trying to get all onto those solar whales or whatever carrier they are using to kill them off, really important. So prioritize targets, really good. It is a shame that this used to be specifically target carriers. Now it's just, anything with that super cap, which just suck a little bit for it. It was an unneeded nerf, I think, in my opinion, because people were running, everyone was running them. It didn't really matter. The nerf didn't really matter, in my opinion. Now you've just made it a little bit more random who wins on which side, as opposed to, I don't know. So, anyway, you got 5 slots, so yeah. Prioritize targets, the double cooldown here, and I'd probably take the hit rate. Yeah, I'd probably go the hit rate. Damage. Now, damage or lock-on speed is going to depend what you put on here. Evasion's also an option as well. My recommendations for Corvettes, it's probably just things like cellular defenders, any of the big damage dealers, cell defenders, Levy 9s are what you really want to put on here, because they're going to get like big damage bonuses from more cooldown, because they really love loads of cooldown. You don't want to put interceptors on here if you're going to take prioritized targets. You don't want T800s on here, which is why you only usually see like 4 of these in a swarm fleet, because they'll run 4, which is I think they have 4 Corvettes each. Sorry, 4 or 5 of these, so they'll have 20 Corvettes between them, and they'll run 10 Levy 9, 10 Cell Defender. Done. Jobs are good. And that's mostly because of the buffs, but it is very, very dependent on the prioritized targets here. It's just really good. So yeah, definitely worth checking that out for specifically that. Again, pick up the hit rate where you can get the extra bonus, and you're going to give it yourself an extra 15% on top of its hit rate bonus already. So, pretty good. After that, it really doesn't matter. In my opinion, that's where you kind of leave the ship. Maybe go into the armor system, pick up the energy res and the physical resistance, and you're good to go. The integrated battery system does sod all, really. It's really not that good. If you're persistently really wanting it, hit rates against frigate destroyers might help a bit. Then into hit rate against fighters, corvettes. It's basically got like next to no damage on these. 100 damage isn't too bad, I guess, but 20 damage against aircraft's not great. I believe this is all counter attack as well. So yeah, double cooldown, double hit rate. That's your 4 out of your 5 slots. Lock on efficiency. The damage isn't worth taking, in my opinion, even if it does buff off some reasonable cannons here. They're just not going to do anything at all. Propulsion systems, same as always for me. Double warp speed, cruising speed is what I like to go for, but double cruising speed and a single warp speed is completely viable now. It does have strategic strike. It is the fan one. It is also one of the only carriers in the game with max strike targets, and this splits your strike targets up so they can hit multiple fleets, which is kind of useful and kind of awful at the same time. It's useful because it lets you potentially pin a couple of fleets down before you lose all your aircraft, which is sort of useful, but you're losing like your damage potential to just wipe out one fleet maybe. So in my opinion, I don't really like taking it. This is quite nice though. Increase the main hit rate of aircraft carrying out strategic strikes by 2%. It's only an extra 8%, but it's an 8% you didn't have before. And obviously, if you're going to run strategic strike, you got 2 slots, so you kind of have to pick that and the auxiliary attack radar, in my opinion. So yeah, multi-target attack, situational, not particularly great. Auxiliary attack radar, persistent, or consistent, I should say, and it will just work. I don't really think you should use these for strategic strike. There are better options, but you know, there you go. And so yeah, that's the support type. The anti-ship type, again, you know, you're at back row, which is quite nice. It has, you know, the combat insertion, which is actually really nice. It can prioritize attack on 4 +1 targets with lower HP, and this is persistent. So even if you kill one of those 4 targets, it will just rack up another target, and then you'll have, you know, another. It'll try and keep 4 targets consistently with lower HP, and this is when it's in the flank. So yeah, it can potentially just like murder, like the flanking fleet can help. It'll help murder just whatever's in like the middle of what it's attacking, which is actually just quite good. Like I said though, the HC Aurelian has it as well, and I believe that's just a more efficient way of, you know, doing anything here. Second lot on the command system doesn't really matter. So if you are going to use this, armor system first, into the command system, I would try and get this combat insertion up a little bit, at least 1 level, which is a very expensive cost, before moving on to its bow-mounted weapon system, where it has donned 300 damage per hit, dual cannons, a pair of them, and yeah. When the target is a cruiser, increases damage by 60% and attack duration by 30%. Sounds great. It is pretty good. You also got hit rate against frigates destroyers, which probably don't really matter too much because you are looking to kill large ships, in my opinion, with this thing. It has small ship focus, though. Double cooldown. Would you go hit rate here? How many slots you got? 6. Double cooldown, hit rates. So you go double hit rate here for certain. Cannons are notoriously bad at hitting at anything. So there's 4 of your slots. Strategy you pretty much have to pick up here. And that leaves you 1 damage slot. So yeah, it's kind of relevant. You could potentially drop the frigate destroyers if you see enemies are running only super heavy fleets and pick up an extra damage here. Yeah. Integrated batteries, the same as the support type. Probably double hit rate, double cooldown, lock on efficiency there. And then command system, probably try and max this command system out at this point, and then also picking up the physical res and energy res. And that's pretty much it. Prop system, same as before. Double warp speed, cruise speed, or double cruise speed, single warp speed. It's... The problem with this ship is you're paying a very, very large premium for that command system. You're paying 18 CP to bring awful damage per minute in for a cruiser. Decent HP, fair enough, but this is awful damage per minute for a cruiser. Just so you can get combat insertion, which you can do on the Carillion HC, and it's just flat out better. I think the Carillion HC even has sort of like similar damage output to this thing. Carillion, I definitely am going blind. I can't find anything at the moment. Carillion HC, command system, combat insertion. It's even better actually. It's got prioritized on 5 instead of 4. And then, yeah, 2,485 at 5 CP. So you could have 3 of these technically, and that's still cheaper than your Jaeger. And it's what, 2,500 damage each, 5,000, 7,500 damage for 15 CP instead of 7,000 for 18 CP. Just yeah. Unfortunately, the poor Jaeger got absolutely rocked. If this thing had closer to say 12,000, maybe more, maybe 13, 14,000 damage per minute with that command system, absolutely would probably recommend it at that point. But not at that. Just no. It hasn't got the damage per minute to just warrant the 18 CP. Even if it has got a very useful strategy on it. There's just better ways to get hold of that strategy in the game. So that is the Jaeger, the sport type being fantastic. Gave you a couple of Corvette options, the 2 best options, in my opinion. The only 2 you should really probably run on it. And unfortunately, its poor brethren, the heavy cannon cruiser, which is it's redundant almost. So yeah, I guess if you haven't got heavy HC Carillion, you could fling one of these in just for the strat in your flanking fleets. Otherwise, I would ignore it, to be honest. So, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.